It is the 3rd of February, 2025, and, well, tariffs are making Mexico and Canada cave. It's working. As I said on my earlier video on PrepperNow, it's making them bend the knee, and now they're moving on to other things. So they're going to put 10,000 troops on the Mexico side and 10,000 troops on the Canada side. They're going to go after the fentanyl. These are the promises. Doesn't mean it'll happen, but it's a good step in the right direction. And he's doing the things. He's at least attempting to do what he said. We'll see if it works or not. Just because they say it and they agree to it doesn't mean it'll actually happen. But things are, happening the way that he said he wanted them to happen and he would do. So you got to take the wins from where they're coming. I know that previous administration wasn't doing anything of this sort. And now he's moving on to other things. He's going after USAID, the investment thing, which, many people say is just a freaking slush fund for Soros and his buddies. And then from there, the latest video, I'm sure you got no notification from PrepperNow, called Slaying Waste. Well, he's going after the Department of Education. And there's more. We actually have a lot more here on the Crisis Report. We'll be talking about that. And so, go check out that video. You won't get any notifications or anything. And, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to go live on PrepperNow after this. I'm just going to keep making videos. So the more they, go after me and try to stop, the more I'm just going to throw down. So speaking of which, if you couldn't tell, I'm a little bit of a feisty human being. Well, for those that were wondering about my mom, she's kind of the same way. In fact, I get it from her. She is a no-ish taken lady. Always has been. I'll never forget, I was playing sports ball in 8th grade, and the coach's son got to play and I didn't, and he was coming out and he was getting ready to talk to us and all that, and she just laid into him till the guy's jaw hit the drawer and just said every word in the book. Said, I've never seen anything like it. And so after that, her nickname in the house became Lioness, because it's always how she's been. She's just a tough, no-ish taken lady. And so she was supposed to get surgery tonight, but she was having trouble calming down. She kept wanting to get up. We're like, you have a broken hip and a dislocated hip. You have to sit there. And so I had a long talk with her, and I just said, look, like they say in the program, you have to let go and you have to let God. And you're just going to have to calm down and let this play out. And in the morning, go through your surgery. And then when all that is done, then you're going to be able to get up and take control again. And so she seemed to listen. I know my dad was happy that I said it to her, but she's something else. She's a firecracker, man. You think I'm a spitfire? You just wait. So she's definitely not down and out, and she will be rolling through it tomorrow. Let's just hope she can take a deep breath and get through. So I'm sure she will. So thanks for all the prayers. I also want to send a special shout out to Modern Refugee. Modern Refugee said something on his channel. He actually texted me, and we talked after yesterday, and expressing his concern. If you know anything about him, I'm starting to get to know him. He had some similar situations in his life. You want to talk about a great guy. This is the kind of people that I really just kind of vibe on. And so, I don't know. I'm lucky to now have him as someone in my life, in my background. And I've got other people. There's one of my prepper people is going down to Florida. I got to talk to him via text today. I got my man Frank in AZ. I got my man Chris in PA. I got my other homie in PA, 5x5. I got my people. I got, my other prepper friend who knows who she is right down the street. So, having people's important. And, just keep doing the things, folks, all right? So to all that are in this community and everything, it's growing. It's growing. That's the thing. They're actually going out of their way on the other channel to hinder, and it just tells me that I'm doing things right. That's literally what it tells me. So I'm a fighter. I'm always going to call crap out. I don't like censorship. I don't like any of that stuff. It seems hypocritical for me to teach the rights that we have in our Bill of Rights, and then to come and have these big tech bastards feel like they can do whatever the heck they want. Honestly, I hope that the administration starts to go after them too, and really starts to lay down the law, because the crap's gotten way out of hand. So, but as you know, we're going to be fighting the good fight. We always have been here, and we're never going to give up. So, Lonnie Beatty, you're what I'm talking about, man. You said I want to keep you going. I'm not stopping, bro. I'm not going anywhere. They'll have to physically remove me from this chair, and they'll have to break my computer. And even then, I'll find another way. So on that note, let's get started. 6 minutes in. This is your Crisis Report, February 3rd, 2025. And yes, I'll be going live on PrepperNow after this because... Okay. All right, here we go. U.S. President Trump accuses South Africa of confiscating land and cutting funding. Electric cars make up 96% of Norway's new cars in January. OpenAI's Altman says no plans to sue China's DeepSeek. It's probably helping them. We need America, and America needs us. EU top diplomat. That is true. Musk brands U.S. aid criminal. Trump calls its leaders radical lunatics. These are true. Trump says spoke to Canada's Trudeau on tariffs. It's going to start off. They're going to be all hardcore and saying they're going to do all this stuff. Canada's Ontario is going to ban U.S. firms and government contracts. Guess what? You bent the knee. You bent the knee. So other people said, oh, that's going to ruin our relationships. No. We've been doling out money for friggin' decades. It's time for everybody to just kind of stop this and get on par with each other. So I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. Sitting there watching us lose. It's time that these countries step up and help us. It's not like we're fighting and trying to, they're trying to stop fentanyl from coming over the border. As a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, I can't think of too much better things that we need to do and stop. President says U.S. agrees to pause tariffs for 1 month. That's right. Bend the knee. Mexico says to deploy 10,000 troops to the U.S. border to fight drug trafficking. That's right. Bend the knee. Trump confirms 1 month pause of Mexico tariffs. Bend the knee. Polish President Duda told that when war in Ukraine ends, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers will come home, and this will likely lead to a boom in organized crime in Europe. He's probably right. Also added that many of the soldiers have serious psychological issues, hinting that after they come back, these veterans will probably terrorize their native towns and villages. IDF continues to destroy Hezbollah's infrastructure and weapon depots in southern Lebanon. United States Embassy in DR Congo urges citizens to leave the country immediately. U.S. citizens previously requested only to leave the city of Goma and are now advised to leave the county as soon as possible, country, mess up, as soon as possible as the security is increasingly deteriorating. Ontario has banned U.S. firms from government contracts and dumping Starlink. I have a feeling that'll be back up and running here soon. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban says we were the black sheep of the West. Now it turns out we are the future. In war, negotiations are essential. Otherwise, it leads to total destruction. Ukraine risks becoming the EU's Afghanistan. Ukraine was misled into believing that Western support would continue indefinitely until total victory. No amount of Western weapons would be enough. It was a mistake to let Ukraine believe that we would stand by its side until victory. That was never true. Ukraine is now in a worse position. For the first time in 14 days, IDF allows burials in Jenin refugee camp under strict conditions. A maximum of 3 family members present and no protests. Deceased were buried simultaneously with numbered graves. Some families, forgetting their relatives' grave number, had to reopen graves to confirm identities, as seen in video footage. Ontario Premier Doug Ford. Starting today and until U.S. tariffs are removed, Ontario is banning American companies from provincial contracts. We're going one step further. We'll be ripping up the province's contract with Starlink. Ontario won't do business with people hell-bent on destroying our economy. It's not about destroying the economy, okay? I got nothing against Canadians. I got nothing against any of this. But there's drugs pouring over the border. There's people pouring over the border. There's problems pouring over the border. And we need our countries to work together to stop it. I'm sure that you guys have weapons coming in from America. We need to stop that as well. It's not us, being better than Canada or Canada being better than us. It's about the rule of law. It's about recognized international borders and all the stuff going on that we need to stop. I'm sure that there's been plenty of nasty mofos that have gone from America into Canada and done terrible things to people, and that should stop as well. These countries need to work together. That's what it's about. It's not about, I know I'm getting all intense with the bend the knee stuff and all that, but it's like we got to work together. Okay, we can't push things off. It's got to get serious now. We're in a critical point in history, and it's time for these countries to work together. Mexico, America, and Canada need to work together to stop drugs, to stop human trafficking, and to get on the same page with each other, and to work to stop it. These are terrible things. My biggest fear as a father is having one of my little girls taken by someone and then put into God knows where for terrible things. I can't even imagine. So that's the kind of stuff they're trying to work together. They need to stop it together. We need to help Canada, and Canada needs to help us. That's all it is. Ukraine is already using laser weapons to hit high-altitude targets, says Vadim Sokarakish, commander of the Unmanned Systems Forces. Syrian presidency vows to pursue and punish those responsible for the Manbij car bombing, which killed 20 people, ensuring the perpetrators face penalties. Scheinbaum from Mexico says it will work together with the U.S. going forward on security and trade. Sounds great. Good. Greece, emergency teams mobilized on Santorini as earthquake swarm persists into the fourth day. Emergency crews have been dispatched to Santorini, Greece, where they have been actively preparing an evacuation response in an ongoing earthquake swarm that has been shaking the island for consecutive days. Seismic activity, which began over the weekend, has raised significant concerns among local authorities and residents due to the island's history of volcanic and tectonic activity. Santorini, known for its iconic caldera formed by a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BC, sits on a complex geological fault line, making it particularly susceptible to earthquakes. Current swarm consists of over 200 tremors, with some felt by residents and visitors alike, predominantly in the northern areas of Oya. Next target of Trump's politics is Europe, according to Sky News. They say new tariffs on EU will definitely come. We have a deficit of over $300 billion. They won't take our cars. They won't take our agricultural products. They take almost nothing, and we take everything from them. Millions of cars, huge amounts of food, agricultural products. So the UK has really overstepped the mark, but I think it's solvable. But the European Union has really gone too far. When the European Union has done is appalling, he said. Senior Canadian officials speaking to the New York Times, Canada is not optimistic it can get the same kind of 1 month delay from the U.S. tariffs that was granted to Mexico. They obviously did. U.S. aid staffers told to stay out of D.C. headquarters after Musk said that Trump agreed to shut it down. Good, go away, you're fired. FBI agents are reportedly in panic mode and planning a protest at FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. Yeah, Crimea River. Mexico's President Scheinbaum announced the tariffs have been postponed for a month following a discussion with Trump. Senate Intelligence Committee plans to vote on Tulsi Gabbard's nomination as the Director of National Intelligence and Secret. They should definitely put her in. Donald Trump is set to hold an unscheduled press conference with all reporters being called to the White House. Wasn't sure what that was. Democrats are protesting the Trump administration's closure of USAID and calling for U.S. taxpayer money to be sent to foreign nations. Why? Because they're freaking idiots. Trump administration is prepared to transfer approximately $1 billion in bombs and other military equipment to Israel. Don't worry, folks. Israel is going to always get theirs. Canadians have started removing American-made products from their shelves due to the tariffs. Go check out the product of Bud Light and see how that worked for them. President Trump will issue an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. That is the suppressed no notification video that I did on PrepperNow earlier. Please go check that out so you can give the to Borg. Bill Gates is warning the world about RFK Jr. potentially being in charge of our health, alleging that he is a jab conspiracy theorist and misleading people. STFU. Activists that change their sex and their supporters are protesting outside a New York City hospital over the cancellation of puberty blockers and those procedures. No comment. Border czar Tom Homan has indicated he may seek the arrest of New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, who defied the Trump administration by openly admitting sheltering an illegal immigrant. Dozens of Egyptian tanks and armored vehicles have been deployed to the Egyptian city of Rafah, near the Gaza Strip, in a move that contradicts the peace agreement with Israel. His Egyptian army has set up a division with thousands of tanks deployed across Sinai, with training activities continuing non-stop for several days. State of high alert in the Egyptian arena. Israeli media. Minister of Mineral Resources Gwede Mantashe responded to Trump and said, let's withhold minerals to the United States. If they don't give us money, let's not give them minerals. How about you stop taking land from people based on their skin, you racist fuck? Huh? Julius Malema, leader of the Communist Economic Freedom Fighters, warns Trump, we want to make it categorically clear of the President of the USA that we are going to expropriate land without compensation and pursue legislative measures to do so, and no threat will stop us. As far as I'm concerned, you can send the military in there to stop them as well. Iran is developing nuclear missiles with a range of 3,000 kilometers based on designs handed to Tehran by North Korea, according to the Telegraph. African National Congress blames Afrikaner civil rights group AfriForum for causing Trump to cut aid to South Africa. No, it's because you're putting in racist laws and you're stealing people's land. Okay? Those are called civil rights violations. ANC claims that AfriForum misrepresented the fair land expropriation. There's nothing fair about expropriating land. Again, you racist pieces of shit. Weaponized misinformation to spread. No, you're the racist. You know you are. Reuters quoting Donald Trump, I have no guarantees that the ceasefire in Gaza will stand up. Politico reports that the United States is set to withdraw from the UN Human Rights Council. Trump administration is preparing a massive military aid package for the state of Israel worth about $1 billion, which will include at least 4,700 to 2,000 pound bombs, 4,700 of the 2,000 pound bombs. Trump will meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu tomorrow, reportedly to discuss annexing parts of Judea and Samaria, West Bank, to the de jure territory of the state of Israel. Yes, Israel will get everything they want from Trump. Far-left extremists and Chicanos, Mexicans living in U.S., have burnt the United States flag during an anti-deportation riot in California last night. This is from that schmuck from World War III Info, saying that they're being treated like Anne Frank was in Germany. No, you freaking idiot. These people are illegal. Okay? Again, I asked like last night, if you're so for these people, why don't you put your money where your friggin' mouth is and put some of these people in your fair country of Deutschland and bring them into your home. Have them take over one of your bedrooms if you even have that amount of room in your little, hovel of a home. Have them come in. Have them take over. Have them eat your food and stuff. You're so giving. People are idiots. U.S. Marines assigned to 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division have arrived in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba to prepare to expand the Migrant Operations Center at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay. They're not putting just cleaning ladies down there. They're putting the worst of the worst. They're putting the people down there that murder and do all kinds of nasty stuff. So don't be misled. Degeneration of Hollywood and the music industry can sink no further. This is from Aquila, and I agree with him. The fact that Beyonce won a Grammy for the Best Country Album Award, and then he shows a picture of this guy with like a house on his head or something. I don't know. It's just, yeah. Again, modern music for the most part sucks. Proposed 25% tariffs on Canada have been paused for 30 days after Canada promises a list of new border security measures, including ramped-up border surveillance tech, 10,000 border personnel, appointing a fentanyl czar, and labeling the cartels as terrorist organizations. There you go. Thank you. Yes, I'm telling it like it is, Mr. Roger. Thank you so much, my man. Thanks for being a member. If you like what we're doing here, you too can be a member. It's $2 a month. You don't have to. Yes, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to ask it. It's because that's what YouTube wants me to do. That's when I go back in my studio. There's a big old picture on the side talking about all the different ways to get people to join as members. I'd love to have you. It's $2. It's as low as it goes. It's just to help support things. You don't have to do it, though. You can get it for free. And for the new member of Substack, PrepperNow.substack.com that just paid for the yearly for $30, thank you so much for your tip. It's just tips, folks. You like what we're doing? Great. You don't have to do anything, but I appreciate you. President Trump is reportedly considering hitting the European Union with 10% tariffs, per the Telegraph. Rubio, I'm the acting director of USAID. I've delegated the authority to someone. I like that. U.S. says its Navy ships will have free passage through the Panama Canal after Marco Rubio's visit. Really? You mean we don't got to pay for it anymore? Huh, okay. U.S. Navy ships will go through the Panama Canal for free, an American official said, following Secretary of State Marco Rubio's visit to the Central American country during the weekend. Bloomberg reported Panamanian authorities did not comment on the claim. Sorry, I'm reading Scrappy Cat's thing. Huh, cool. Reader comment. It's good. U.S. arms delivery to Ukraine were briefly paused resumed over the weekend by Trump administration reviewed its Kiev policy. White House backed off its initial plan to halt the aid to Ukraine. Trump eyes Ukraine deal exchanging rare earths for aid. President Trump said Monday he wants to negotiate an agreement with Ukraine in which Kiev guarantees supplies of rare earth metals, key elements used in electronics in exchange for aid. Hold on real quick. Gotta talk to the wife. Yes, I can. Yeah, I got it. All right. Thanks, folks. Sorry. Family biz. President Trump said Monday he wants to negotiate an agreement with Ukraine, Kiev, which Kiev guarantees supplies of rare earth metals, electronics in exchange for aid. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has floated such an idea last October as part of his victory plan for ending the war with Russia. Tides are turning after Secretary of State Marco Rubio's visit. Panama has agreed to grant U.S. Navy ships free passage through the Panama Canal. I've gotten more text messages in the last 20 minutes than I did the last 20 hours. Grant U.S. Navy ships free passage through the Panama Canal. Terminate its canal deal with China, cutting Beijing's grip on global trade. Exit China's 2017 Belt and Road Initiative, ending the CCP influence in the region, and a major blow to China's expansionist agenda and a massive win for American dominance. The globalist order is crumbling, and the U.S. is back. Breaking: Doge has uncovered shocking details in the U.S. Treasury payments, and this is supposedly true. They're spending $600 million a year on sushi. The IRS is dropping $230,000 a month on Starbucks cinnamon roast K-Cups. Just let me sidebar real quick. Only a bitch would drink a Starbucks cinnamon roast K-Cup. Just saying. $1,280 per disposable plastic cup for coffee. This is at the IRS headquarters where 92% of the employees are working from home. That's 92 out of 100 people not in the office, yet they're still spending $230,000 a month on cinnamon K-Cups from Starbucks, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And might I remind you, these are the people that are going under the hood of you and my everyday finances. So they can sit there and freaking go after us if we don't cross every T and dot every I perfectly and name everything about all of ours when we're like running businesses that employ people and other stuff. No mercy. Rubio says El Salvador has offered to accept U.S. deportees of any nationality as well as violent American criminals. Emergency crews have deployed on Santorini. Evacuation plans reportedly being prepared as an earthquake swarm hits the Greek island for the fourth day. Over the past 24 hours, cryptocurrency market experienced an unprecedented liquidation event. More than $2 billion in value wiped out. Over 700,000 traders have been liquidated. Event marks the largest daily liquidation in the history of cryptocurrency, surpassing significant past events like the Rona market crash and the FTX collapse. Major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum saw significant declines, Bitcoin dropping below 95 grand. 15-year-old boy was stabbed to death at a Catholic school in Sheffield, England. The teenage suspect is detained. Gosh, I wonder what he looks like. Democratic Senator Brian Schatz says he will block Trump nominees until USAID is back, according to Wall Street Journal. Ebola jabination trial begins in Uganda after the outbreak, according to the WHO. New scenes from ICE hunts on unregistered immigrants. They're called illegal. Seen in Miami Beach, South Beach, Florida, where people are lined up for being detained to an unknown location. Trump says that Musk cannot take actions without his approval. Trump says we will impose heavy tariffs on many countries if they do not make deals with us. France has begun withdrawing its troops from Senegal, with 3 military bases previously housing French soldiers already handed over to local forces. This decision aligns with a broader trend of French military withdrawal from several African countries, including Chad, where the last troops departed recently. Senegal's President Bassirou Diomaye Faye emphasized that this is a move, a sovereign decision reflecting Senegal's independence and desire for self-determination in security matters. And USAID has spent in one single grant alone $26 million on the Georgian elections, as they were basically trying to stoke some local color in the possible revolution. I can't even imagine all the stuff that's going to be coming out. There are some people that are literally shaking in their boots for all the crazy funding and everything else that's been going on with this slush fund for the deep state. So that's your crisis report for 3rd of February 2025. Please, folks, consider becoming a member here like Bad Bobber. It does help keep the lights on. You don't have to do it. I'm going to talk about it from time to time, so if that makes your butt hurt, again, it's not forced, it's not anything. It's just helps me with my time. This stuff doesn't just happen. I go out and I look for it and put it together. But yeah, Yeah, you can also join us on Subscribestar and Locals. Have great communities over there, about 100 people each. And then, of course, there's Gab, Minds, X, Twitter, and Truth Social. Love to see you there. And then, of course, there's here, Substack, PrepperNow.substack.com if you want to go through this and, look at the links like this one right here. Link pops up. Yep. All right here. It's a big transcript of what we say and do. So I appreciate you. God bless you all. Lonnie Beatty again last night. Thank you so much. That was a really big, beautiful thing you did. So, friends, going on over to Prepper Now. We're going to do a quick one over there just because. And we'll see you on the next one. God bless you all.